Question I get very often is, how much is it? How much is the course? How much is the coaching? How much is the program? And the true question behind that is, how much is it worth to me? Because if it's worth it for you, you have to define a worth for it. If I say this water bottle is worth it for me, I have to define what is worth. So I have to say, okay, well, I would say that this bottle is worth to me $10, right? So I have to give it a value first. Once I give it a value, when I go to look at the price, then I can say, oh, it's not worth it because it's only worth to me $10. Not what it should cost, because obviously we already know how much it costs to make these things and plastic and stuff like that. It's probably just a couple of pennies on the dollar. It's not about what it should cost. It's about what is it worth to me? What am I willing to spend in order to get that outcome, in order to get that transformation? How long have I been struggling in what I've been doing? What am I willing to do? What time am I willing to put in? Because you're not just spending money, you're also spending time. You're going to be spending time, you're going to be spending energy, you're going to be spending effort. Just like what I said on the start of this presentation, there's no get rich quick scheme. There's like missed parties. There's no overnight ATM. You have to keep in mind that there's going to be things you're going to be giving up as well. So price does not exist in a vacuum. It's not just the number that's on the screen. It's also what you're giving up, what you're willing to put in, and all of the things that come with that, receiving that transformation at the end. So whenever I hear that question, I also hear the question underneath it. Often it's, okay, well, let me figure out, like, if I carry the one, do this. It's not about that. You have to understand that there's a subconscious question beneath it, which is, am I willing to invest the time and the energy that's going to be required in order to recoup my investment? And that's whether you're doing something for relationships, health and wellness, et cetera, et cetera. When I first started working with my coaches and I looked at the prices that they had, I was like, okay, am I actually going to show up? Because if I'm not going to show up, it doesn't make sense to spend this money, right? If I am going to show up and I do get the outcome, because if I show up, I get the outcome, then, oh, it's absolutely worth it. It's so cheap. So that's something else to think about and consider.